Hey, it's been a minute since one of these. Clearly I've been really busy with my Versus show Nebula Theatre, so I can't give this series as much attention as I used to. But here I am, ready to tackle some casts and talk about matchups that you love. Maybe. Here are my favorite matchups discussed between October and December 2025. You might notice that I'm not talking about every single cast that happened within these months. At the end of the video, I'll tell you why that is, and if I will be discussing them in the future. Let's get started. Number 6, Spider-Man and Black Cat versus Ladybug and Noir. These are two sets of people who have been each other's love interests from time to time. And well, let's be real, Ladybug was clearly inspired by Spider-Man. So this is inspiration versus original. This isn't a lot of people's interests, but I can see the appeal. Liam reps Spider-Man and Black Cat, and I think Chad repped Ladybug and Black Noir? I actually don't remember and I never wrote it down. Oops. This matchup's trait of abilities is interesting. Spider-Man has his basic shit, swinging on webs, shooting webs, wall crawling, spider sense, and all of the fun stuff. On the other side, Ladybug and Noir have something called Kwami. This grants them superhuman abilities. Ladybug can create objects, although her success is based on luck. They can stun foes, trap people in other dimensions, and even manifest a giant croquet that is 3 times the size of Earth. If I'm gonna be honest, they didn't give many details here, but it seems clear that Ladybug wins. Spider-Man can web up Namor, catch Mjolnir, and even blitz the Silver Surfer, but Ladybug has a barrier that is immune to everything other than reality warping. Based on this discussion, I don't think Spider-Man has a win con. It's an interesting idea, just not one I jive with personally. I give this matchup a C-. Number 4, Edward Elric versus Sophie, Neuenmuller, I think? Both of them are alchemists that perform alchemy in different ways. Both are known for being extremely intelligent, and both are kind and loving people who want to use their gifts to better the world. This isn't the deepest matchup, but god is it heartwarming. The debate seems very interesting as well. DJ reps Edward Elric and Aaron reps Sophie. These two use alchemy very differently. Edward Elric transmutes objects with his hands. By clapping his hands and touching something, he can create a variety of objects. He can extend the ground upwards to make a wall, use steel to create a lance, use stone to create a cannon, and even transmute his metal arm to have a blade on it for close-range combat. Did I also mention that he's a master martial artist? Sophie has an, I think it's pronounced atelier. She uses this to perform alchemy. Her alchemy is mostly for creating objects. She can make bombs, create monsters, change the weather, create fire, create health potions, potions to help with her stats, and the like. She also has a staff that she uses to beat up people, and that will hurt. I thought the winner would be hard to call. Both can manipulate souls. Ed has better hand-to-hand combat while Sophie has better item creation, but Sophie can also just travel through time. Yeah, that's right. Sophie can time travel. I don't see how Ed would get past that in the context of a death battle. I think Ed would win without this, but Sophie would win if it is fully applicable. I want to see Ed return to a death battle, just so he can get more justice done for him. I think if this is the one they choose to go with, it's a fine matchup with just a few hiccups, and like every death battle cast, I really want to know more. I give this an A-. Number 4, Robert Robertson versus Cecil Stedman. Two leaders of superhero teams that defend the world from otherworldly invaders. I'm pretty sure it only goes that deep, but honestly, any team fight is worth doing if it makes sense. And this one does sound fun. Javier reps Robert and Liam reps Cecil. Again, being death battle, they don't go into too much detail, but Robert himself uses a mech suit. This suit has laser swords, missiles, shields, and generally a bunch of weapons. Cecil isn't a direct combatant. Sure, he can teleport and has multiple laser guns and a giant satellite laser, but nothing to take down Robert definitively. What matters here is their armies. They, don't go into these armies. They say that Robert has a big army, units that turn invisible, and that Robert is a good hacker. But that's it. For Cecil, they bring up that he has the Guardians of the Globe, which includes Duplicate, Robot, and Reanimate. And if they don't cut it, they have strong zombie soldiers. That's it. That's the whole debate. Robert is star level, but Cecil's units can kill Viltrumites. So I think Cecil just wins? I like this, A-. They left me yearning for more information, and I think that's a good thing. I am engaging in this matchup, and I want to learn more. I want to like this. So hopefully in the future, someone could really convince me on this. Number 3, Bigfoot versus the Loch Ness Monster. So the only real connections here are that they have both been popular folklore for a very long time. Longer than any of us have been alive. This debate exists for one reason, because DJ and Max want to settle a personal debate. So let's get into it. Max repped the Loch Ness Monster and DJ repped Bigfoot. I almost didn't include this matchup into this video because it seems like such a crazy concept, but the execution could be really fun. They essentially composited all of Bigfoot and Nessie with any media they have ever appeared in. This lets Bigfoot have a UFO, vibrate its mass to phase through objects, can regenerate its body, and turn invisible. It's not typically what you think about when thinking of this beast. Loch Ness Monster got similar treatment, giving Nessie mind control and psychic abilities, the ability to fly through space, and soul destruction. It's kind of fun learning about all these crazy things that they can do in other media, but I think I'm a little upset that they didn't talk more about the folklore that these beasts come from. With their rules though, Bigfoot wins. Nessie is a giant kaiju that can teleport around lakes, survive the Hulk's attacks, and even survive Scooby-Doo's universal destruction. But Bigfoot can teleport dimensions, essentially has the Godzilla Ultima effect by having his real body be outside of dimensionality, and scales to SCP and most importantly, The Simpsons. This cast was not what I expected, but everyone had so much fun and it seemed like such a good time, and I really appreciate that. It's easy to get lost in the sauce sometimes when trying to debate your best, and I'm guilty of that as well. At the end of the day, if you're not having fun though, what's the point? And you can tell with this one right here that this is a matchup that makes them happy and they had fun to discuss it. This matchup gets an A- from me. Number 2, Nemesis vs Subject Delta. These two are both from horror games that define the consoles they were developed for. Both wield heavy weaponry, morph their bodies, and they contrast by having Nemesis hunt a woman down while Delta's purpose is to protect a small child. Not too deep connections wise, let's be real, but these monsters would still be a joy to see fight. Aaron rep Delta and Liam rep Nemesis. I'm not talking about Nemesis Blood Right, get out of here. This may be a simple monster fight, but they can still do some cool things. Nemesis is a giant regenerating monster. It wields a multi-rocket launcher and has some insane tentacles that can attack at all angles all at once. In terms of arsenal though, Delta has it beat. Delta has a drill arm, multiple guns, a rocket launcher, electrified wires, and spear guns. Delta can also use plasmids to do things like hack, heal, shoot fire, and electricity, and most importantly, ice. Ice being something that could prove troublesome to Nemesis. As busted as Delta is, Nemesis has one thing going for it. Its evolution. When you harm it or kill it in certain ways, it evolves a la Doomsday to not get harmed by that method of attack anymore. If Nemesis is completely disintegrated before it evolves, it could die, but I think Nemesis would be able to put Delta down before that happens. This is one of those matchups that isn't super thematic, but I like it a lot. It gives both BioShock and Resident Evil a fun matchup to talk about, and the fight itself could be super spooky and awesome. A true testament to fun horror games of yesteryears. I give this matchup an A. Also UX, I give Nemesis vs Magician an A+, please don't hurt me! And number 1, Omori vs Room. Both of these individuals represent the internal struggles between both of their real-world counterparts, Oriel and Sunny. Honestly, if you really want to delve into the thematics, watch the Why It's Perfect video by Levi. He will sell you on this matchup better than anyone. But let's talk about this debate. Omori is repped by Max, and Room is repped by John. Omori is a character that has control of the entire realm he is stuck in. Headspace. Every enemy, item, friend, and location is completely under his control. Omori fights with a knife and has items that mess around with emotions. Room resists emotional manipulation altogether though. Even though he wouldn't compare with the control Omori has, Room can fracture the universe. So his power is crazy. There is a possibility he could take control of Omori's headspace, but I don't know how I feel about that argument. It's more likely that Room will just drag Omori to his own headspace, where he would be much more powerful. They can both separate each other from their main human bodies, and both could kill each other. But Room wins more likely than not. Omori can make Room afraid with his fear manipulation, which would bypass Room's resistances. But Room is just far too powerful. Omori has an ability where he can keep fighting no matter what, but Room being able to destroy Omori on a conceptual level is just far too much. This matchup is great, I've talked about it a lot. Support it, love it. A+ from me, hands down. Now we're talking about the fan battle casts. I bet they missed me. I only have 6 on this list today, so the video isn't too long. But for every cast that I don't talk about today, I will be making a YouTube short about. I don't have much to say about them, they'll probably be less than 3 minutes. So I figured I'd want to experiment to use this shorts format like that. Every single Friday, starting after the Halloween casting call ends, you will see me talk about a random cast that has happened within these months. Let me know how you end up feeling about this overall. I'm always willing to take reception and change things as I go. But for right now, let's talk about my favorite fan battle cast of these months. Starting with number 6, Master Chief vs. Shepard. Two extremely skilled space marines that have saved their universes from countless threats on many occasions. They both have been enhanced in multiple ways to make them a super soldier amongst super soldiers, and they are both proficient in every form of gun/swordplay. This is what I like to call the Master Chief matchup that should have happened. This matchup is so much more fun and is way more debatable. Nuke Brother rep Master Chief and Archive rep Shepard. Let's just be honest out the gate, their arsenals are very similar. They all have guns, beam weapons, hard light swords, and the such. But it's their more specific arsenal that is interesting. Take their armors, for instance. Master Chief has the Mjolnir armor. This armor has a constantly recharging shield and is durable enough to tank a full fall into the planet. Shepard has kinetic shielding. If an attack is moving quick enough, the armor will automatically bounce any attack off of it. If Shepard hits him with anything other than a gun though, it should still harm him. Their bullets are inherently different as well. Master Chief has more conventional bullets in his guns, while Shepard utilizes the mass effect. His weapons don't need to reload, and the bullets travel at insane speeds. Shepard should overall be faster while Master Chief should be stronger. Shepard can rely on his bionics, which is space magic that greatly affects gravity. This would help against a lot of Master Chief's equipment, like his super fast thruster pack, which is just a jetpack that moves super quickly, or really any vehicle you try to give Master Chief. To call a winner is really hard. For instance, Master Chief has a huge advantage with Cortana. Cortana can process millions of calculations in a single moment, and even has ways to turn off Shepard's shields. But with Shepard's bionics, he can bypass Master Chief's shields and attack his nervous system directly. Master Chief also has no counter to the dark energy weapons Shepard has. Damn, I don't know. I'm gonna go with Shepard. I think in a fight like this, that speed advantage does a lot carrying this. But it is so close. I can see why people want this. Hell, I want it myself. I hope Death Battle does this someday. This gets an A- from me. Number 5, Jared vs. Ryuga. I'm gonna be real, I'm not sure of the connections here, so I'm just gonna guess what they are based on this debate. It seems that these two are both fighters who utilize spirits of lions when they fight, as well as channeling the power of dragons. They both feed off of negative emotions, and even though they started as villains, they do help the heroes from time to time. Simple connections, but they do have an interesting power dynamic. Dark Lore Master rep Jared and Gilded Data rep Ryuga. This debate is very interesting to say the least, better than I think most people give it credit for. Jared is the master of Pai Sho and uses shout attacks and laser beams when he fights. Ryuga uses a Beyblade to fight, although this Beyblade is crazy. This Beyblade can create giant explosions, summon meteors, attack souls, and scale to Moses splitting the Red Sea using a Beyblade. On the other side, Jared can manifest a lion and summon the Lion Zord, which is basically a giant powerful machine. Ryuga uses an animal spirit when he fights, and Jared can suck out animal spirits. So he wins, right? They both get stronger when someone feels certain emotions. Jared with fear and Ryuga with any negative emotion. So Ryuga's strength buff is better. They both can open portals to other places, both can come back after death, and both have dragon-like abilities. Jared turning into a dragon and Ryuga utilizing Dragon Fist. But the difference here is stats. Jared should take speed by a small margin since Jared is a million times faster than light, while Ryuga is either close to that or a bit behind. Ryuga should take strength, however, since he is much stronger. Ryuga is around multi-solar system level while Jared is star level. With that strength difference and the fact that Ryuga can destroy spirits, I think Ryuga wins. There is a question of if Ryuga can resist his soul being destroyed, but I don't really like the arguments made for that, so Ryuga stays winning. This is a fun matchup, and I'm glad to see Beyblade get talked about more. Overall, this matchup gets an A- from me. Number 4, Illidan vs. Shao. These two are ancient beings that are part of a race that is blessed by strong dragons. They both got involved in a massive war that changed their worlds. Both used to be enslaved by evil gods, and they had later been rescued by different gods that taught them their ways. But whereas Shao kept the lessons he learned to heart and remained loyal, Illidan went against his master's teachings entirely. I really like this idea and this series pairing. It is very interesting, so let's get into it. Archive rep Shao and Tarak repped Illidan. I've spoken about Illidan before, so let's talk about him first here. Illidan is thousands of years old. He's an expert at stealth, has a pretty useful healing factor, and has something called the Spectre Sense, which lets him essentially see while blind. Oh yeah, Illidan can't see at all. Should have mentioned that. Shao is slightly older and has some cool abilities. Shao can control the wind with the wind element, can throw extinction level meteors, and fight using a spear, letting him stab and zip into the air. To combat Shao's spear, Illidan uses dual swords. These swords are imbued with hellfire, which lets him do many things. He can burn souls, create fire elementals, and generally throw fire. He can also do this with his chaos magic. Chaos magic also lets him create flame shields, explosions, and shockwaves. Most notably though, Illidan can make mana explode, meaning that as long as Shao uses mana, he can continuously have his body blown up. Here's the thing though, elemental abilities in Genshin are not magic, so it's possible Xiao doesn't use mana at all, meaning this ability would have no effect. But even so, I think Illidan still wins this. Xiao just gets outmatched. Xiao is slower and weaker, while Illidan can drain life and steal souls. He can summon so many elemental beings to overwhelm Xiao, and can reincarnate if killed. Xiao can match Illidan's flight and they both can copy each other's abilities, but Illidan just has almost every advantage in my eyes. This matchup is awesome and my preferred for both though. So overall, I give this matchup an A+. Number 3, Nero Claudius vs Kamen Rider Geats. These are two fighters that had to participate in death games. Both have overcome their past to embrace their future. Both had to fight many fighters within their death games, and both were the reasons that each death game ended. The connections are a lot more complex than that, and I implore you to look them up yourself. But already the fight and setup are clear in my head. I can't wait. Dark Lore Master repped Geats and next Berserker repped Nero. This debate seems really fun, and it makes me so happy that Death Battle is now doing this matchup. Let's start with Geats. Geats has something called the Desire Driver, which lets him transform. He has things called Race Buckles, which gives him a hammer, axe, a poison-tipped chainsaw, and the ability to do substitution, which is like substitution jutsu from Naruto. He just gets hit and creates a replacement. He has the Boost Buckle, which makes him faster and summons a bike, the Magnum Buckle, which gives him a gun, and the Construction Buckles, which creates walls and weaponry. The Boost Mark II Buckle, which makes him move like a laser and shoot a laser gun. And lastly, he has the Geats 9 Buckle, which turns him into a reality warping god, giving him abilities like time manipulation and existence erasure. This is a lot, but Nero does counter a lot of this kit. Nero has the Imperial Privilege, which lets her use any ability she has seen. Regalia can control lesser summons. Huglain can warp reality and perception. Her voice can cause internal bleeding and shoot concentrated lasers. When she is wearing her swimsuit, she gets a pipe organ that also shoots lasers, and she has an ability that gives her 3 lives. They are both wild, but who wins? I think it will be Nero. Gates has outer level AP arguments, but they are unreliable. Nero has a solid 6-dimensional AP argument. She has a laser pointer sword that destroys universes. She has a card that ensures that no matter what, she will always be faster than her opponent. She has defeated someone who has seen all of time and space, and has a noble phantasm that traps opponents in her own dimensional bubble. This bubble buffs herself and debuffs others. Geats could try to BFR his way out, but I think Nero more often than not will take the win. I do think it is close though. I'm positive both have arguments that aren't present here, and that's really exciting for me. I'm so glad they are covering both these series now, and I can't wait to learn more about them. Solid A from me. Number 2, Sanda vs Santa. They are both Santa. That's it. That's legit their deepest connection, but I don't care. This debate is so fun. Rand reps Santa and Croat reps Santa. Santa is probably the lesser known of the two, so I'll start there. Santa turns into this crazy Santa form that is very powerful. His power comes from his believers. The more believers he has, the stronger he is. He can tank building level explosions with just one believer. That's how crazy he is. He can make icicle weapons, coat his body in ice, and make ice spikes jolt out of his body if someone tries to touch him. He can make razor-sharp ice skis for movement and added damage, and these skis can cut through concrete. On the other end, we have Santa. Santa has many devilish powers under her control. With the Hell Devil, she can send people to hell, although this requires a lot of setup. With the Curse Devil, she can end someone's life if she manages to prick them with a needle 4 times. But her bread and butter is the ability of the Doll Devil. Santa telepathically controls dolls all over the world. If anyone touches these dolls, they turn into a doll themselves. Santa has 2 sophisticated dolls that are very intelligent. These dolls help guide and control the other dolls around the world. The only issue is that these dolls might not be able to harm Santa since the devil ability only works on humans. But do you know what they would work on? The children that believe in Santa. Santa will lose more power as the fight progresses. And that is such a cool factor. Rand argues that Santa could just bring the children back by destroying the dolls and remaking the people, since he could bring back people and objects from ashes. But I highly doubt it. This would imply that Santa could transmute the children, which I believe we have not seen proof of. Santa can use the dolls to try to make Santa think that the people are still alive within the dolls, since Santa can make the dolls mimic humans, but Santa can see through lies, so this wouldn't work. The winner is probably Santa. The only way Santa can get knocked out of his Santa form is by eating jelly, and the only way to kill Santa is by using his reindeer's blood. 2 things Santa wouldn't be able to figure out. Santa may have different forms when using the Darkness Devil's ability to eat darkness, but if Santa transfers her pain to other dolls, Santa would just keep breaking them. He does stat stomp her after all. Once Santa uses his other forms, it's game over for Santa. Santa may be immune from death at night, but Santa could just last that long. But this is such a fun debate. I do think it could go either way based on what you buy, but man is this so fun! I was hesitant since there was like 0 thematics, but overall, this is a great idea that I'd love to see happen. A+. And number 1, Ash Williams versus Frank West. These two are both very eccentric and quirky characters from very popular zombie-related media. They had both started as normal men before gaining a shit ton of weaponry, and most importantly, they both have motorcycles. The thematics are much deeper than that, but this is a most wanted matchup for a reason. The amazing fight potential. UX repped Frank and Sherm reps Ash. They both have a metric fuck ton of equipment. Both have chainsaws, both have a variety of guns, both have mecha suits, both are adept in creating weapons and so much more. Frank West can get abilities from different Capcom games, like being able to shoot the Mega Buster from Mega Man, or doing the Raging Demon from Akuma, which does not destroy souls in this game, UX, you liar. Frank has a laser sword that Ash can match with his own laser chainsaw. They both have multiple fire and electrical weapons, multiple bombs to throw at each other, and ways to heal. Frank can naturally heal using food items, which can boost stats as well. Ash has a Devil Trigger form, which also grants him regeneration and up stats. To contend with this, Frank has an exosuit that can shoot 0 temperature whirlwinds. It can shoot ice and suck items away. Ash has resisted a powerful temporal portal though, so he should be able to resist Frank's whirlwinds. Ash has a metal hand that can attach Gatling guns, chainsaws, and the like. He can also shoot his hand like a rocket punch, and then pull his hand back with a metal wire, giving him ways to steal items. But Frank has a metric fuck ton of weapons he can find or even create. In terms of variety, Frank has Ash beat. Frank has a gun that can disintegrate someone in 2 shots, but Ash has the Necronomicon. This book can let Ash cast magic like stealing souls and summoning armies of the dead. If you can't tell, this fight is very nuanced, but ultimately, I think Ash has got this. Frank has a bunch of vehicles, but Ash can match any of them with his car that can shoot fire and missiles. Frank has a zombie form that Ash can just annihilate, and even if Frank uses armor or his exosuit, Ash can use a special dagger to bypass Frank's armor or electrocute him from afar. This is a crazy awesome fight with so much animation potential, and there is someone on my team who particularly wants to do this. So if Death Battle doesn't do this matchup, I will. A+. And that's the end of the video. Keep an eye out for some shorts that will be coming out in the future. Like I said, I am experimenting with how I cover casts now that Nebula Theatre has taken off. And I hope you like what you see. In any case, this is Plymph heading out. Have an amazing day.